Bitcoin. It was a terrible idea. Everybody told me not to do it. They said, and in the end, Bitcoin would go to $10,000 by Friday. And I was an idiot for even thinking that possibly Bitcoin might go lower at some point. Bitcoin might pull back. I was an idiot. Well, luckily for me, I did not get wrecked by Bitcoin because I'm smart. Unlike a lot of the people who commented on my last video, I don't want to start this video off like that. I don't want to bash the 500 people who disliked my last video saying that Bitcoin was going to $10,000 by Friday. There's probably only a few people actually, but a lot of people were convinced that Bitcoin was going to the moon very recently. Some people thought that Bitcoin would be $50,000 by next week, which now, it just seems very unrealistic. Also, another thing that I want to clear up, a lot of people were confused about, is I'm not a Bitcoin bear. I don't want Bitcoin to go to zero, and I'm not short Bitcoin. Now, this video is not a video to say that I was right, that I predicted that Bitcoin was going to crash by Friday, that I predicted that Bitcoin would probably pull back before it went higher. That is not what this video is about. This video is about why I believed that, why I believed that Bitcoin going straight to $8,000 would probably pull back before going higher. And I'm going to break down those reasons, and also I'm going to break down kind of what my overall game plan is with trading cryptocurrency and why I've been trading cryptocurrency this way. So I've been trading cryptocurrency since before the big boom in 2017. Now, obviously, I know cryptocurrency has been around much longer, and I am by no means an expert. Like I say in all my videos, I am not a cryptocurrency expert, but I have done a lot of research. I've worked with multiple cryptocurrency teams. I've talked to some very key individuals in the cryptocurrency space. So I do feel like I have an appropriate amount of knowledge to talk about cryptocurrency here on this channel. So I made a video 2 months ago talking about Litecoin, talking about Bitcoin, and why I was buying the dip, which is interesting because I did not get a lot of a response. I got a lot of people who said that I was an idiot for buying Bitcoin because it was going to zero, but I didn't get a lot of response from people who, I guess, agreed for some reason. Now the recent video where I talked about Bitcoin going back down after the big major move to the upside, I got a lot of grief, got a lot of hate, got death threats. I got people saying I was fat, I was an asshat, I was an idiot. I had no idea what I was talking about, but hey, I'm not gonna hold grudges. When I first started trading Litecoin, I thought that it was gonna go to the moon, right away, basically like everybody believes. But the problem here is that naturally, these things move in waves. Just like the market, stock market, everything really in life, the housing market, everything kind of moves in waves. You get big pushes to the upside, you get pullbacks. It's part of it. And people who believe that this does not apply to cryptocurrency are wrong. I'm sorry, but yes, there are going to be pullbacks. Even when Bitcoin is going to the moon, there's going to be small pullbacks along the way. Another thing that I like to reiterate or talk about here, it's all about percentages and it's all about risk and risk management. Now, obviously, I wasn't able to buy at 8,000 before it went to 10,000, but I was able to get in at 9,000 and then sell at 12,000, having a safe entry, and I'm managing risk. Also, I think a lot of people get confused. If you buy $500 worth of Bitcoin and it goes up 10%, well, you've only made $50. So everybody who commented on the last video talking about how they bought Bitcoin at 7,000 after I made my video and they sold it at 8,000, I highly doubt that most of those people had multiple Bitcoins. Most of those people probably had $200 or $300 in their Coinbase account and they bought it and they got their 10% return. So congratulations on that. But for me, when I bought Bitcoin, when I bought Litecoin at $40, at $3,600, when I bought crypto at what I want to call a bottom of the overall move, when I got in at the lows and I sold at the top for 100% gain, I was able to capitalize on a much safer play. I got in with good risk management. We had a good support area. We had a lot of things going for us in terms of support, the overall chart, kind of the overall idea that Bitcoin was kind of consolidating for a while. We had a nice consolidation. A lot of people weren't talking about it. There wasn't a lot of FOMO. So I felt safe buying it at that area, and that's what I did. As a trader, as an investor, I'm looking for safe opportunities to manage my risk, no matter what it is. If I'm buying Bitcoin, if I'm buying a car, I'm not going to go and buy a car, pay full price for it. Why would I do that? I understand that you believe that Bitcoin is going to the moon in the future. I do. I believe something similar to that. But you also have to be realistic here. And you have to understand, no matter if you believe that Bitcoin is going to the moon in the future, that you should pay a premium no matter what. If Bitcoin goes to $9,000, I should be buying, right? No. I'm sorry to say it's a terrible, terrible idea. Why not buy the dips? Why not buy the pullbacks? And that was really what my last video was about, looking for opportunities to buy, getting a better average, and then being able to capitalize on a better overall move. So if Bitcoin goes to $8,000 and I got a lot of FOMO and I want to buy, and I don't buy it at $8,000, but I wait and it pulls back to $7,000 and I'm able to get in at $7,000, now I'm able to buy Bitcoin at a lower price. That way I can have more Bitcoin going into the future. So even if I'm a long-term investor, why not buy the pullbacks? Why not? Now I'll admit, I was a little worried after the last video when everybody really was mad. But then, after reading the comments, I understood why I was probably going to be right. That it was pretty clear that all of the people who had FOMO, who were buying at $7,500, $7,600, $8,000, all of those people who were so mad that I made a video about not buying Bitcoin at the highs, all of those people will be the first people to be selling. Because first off, they're emotional and they're commenting on my YouTube about how big of an idiot I am because I was telling people to not buy Bitcoin at the highs of the latest rally. Now, I also talked about in my last video how I believed that after the big rally that the social media, the gurus, CNBC, everybody would be talking about Bitcoin. And well, Monday morning, everyone was talking about Bitcoin. Interesting. Interesting that after all of the FOMO, the media, and everyone starts talking about Bitcoin. Nobody was talking about Bitcoin when I was buying it at $3,600. And there's a reason for that, because everybody thought that Bitcoin was going lower. And I was able to get in at a lower price than everybody who had FOMO and was buying because of CNBC. Now, again, I don't want to claim that I knew that Bitcoin was going to bottom, but I was buying Bitcoin with a plan. I had a plan that I was going to risk a small percentage for a maximum return of over 100% return, and that's exactly what I got. Does that mean I've never been wrong before? No. But at the end of the day, it's all about managing risk. Now, a whale in Bitcoin or in cryptocurrency in general is someone who has a lot of money and is able to move the market. And with Bitcoin, there's a lot of whales, and there's a lot of whales that work together to move the market in certain ways. There's more incentive for whales to push the price from 3,000 to 8,000 and then drop the price back to 3,000. There's more incentive for them to do that than to send the price to the moon. There's more incentive for whales to manipulate the price up and down more than just send the price straight to the moon. Now, you have to understand that even though Bitcoin is all about changing the world and making the world a more decentralized place, it has its flaws. I would like to say a limited amount of liquidity, a limited amount of volume, and there's also just a lot of overall manipulation. It's already been proven that many exchanges manipulate their volume. It's already been proven that there's a lot of manipulation, there's a lot of money, greed when it comes down to it. When it comes down to it, like I said, people believe that Bitcoin is going to change the world, which is great. Decentralized world, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, I'm all about it. Trust me. But at the end of the day, you have to understand who you're playing against. Who are you betting against? Who are you making a trade against? There's somebody else out there who's selling Bitcoin. There's a reason that these things move the way they do. And it's not because the overall mass population is buying and selling. It's not just because of FOMO. Bitcoin does not just go to the moon because of FOMO. There are underlying reasons to why cryptocurrency moves the way it did. Now, a lot of people don't talk about this, but in 2017, the reason that Litecoin went from $100 to $400 was not because overall everybody wanted to buy, but because of a couple of different key factors. One of those factors was because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was having trouble transacting. People weren't able to move money between Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies fast enough, so then they started using Litecoin. They started transferring Litecoin back and forth on exchanges, and at the end of the day, that increased demand for Litecoin raised the value really, really quickly, and the overall limited liquidity of Litecoin and Bitcoin made it so that the price shot up so quickly. And that's really what it comes down to. You can say that Litecoin went to the moon because it's the second greatest cryptocurrency all you want. One of the comments that I found to be really interesting in the last video that I made was that people believe that banks, Fidelity, big money is going to be buying Bitcoin at a premium. Do you really think that big money, that banks are going to pay retail price for Bitcoin? Do you really believe they're gonna buy it after it's up over 100% in only a few weeks? I don't know about you guys, but I've never heard of a bank overpaying for really anything. I've never really heard of smart money, smart investors overpaying for anything. Now, you can say that the news is out, that Fidelity is gonna be custodying Bitcoin for clients, stuff like that, but do you really think they're paying a premium? It makes no sense to me. Questions that need to be answered. At the end of the day, Bitcoin is going to do exactly what Bitcoin is going to do. And I have to follow my plan. And my plan is to never pay a premium for anything. No matter what I'm doing, no matter what experience, no matter what I do, I'm always trying to get a discount. And that goes with Bitcoin as well. Why would I overpay for something that I could have bought a couple weeks ago at a much lower price? I'm going to wait for the dip. I'm going to buy the dip like a smart investor. I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to wait for opportunity. And that's really what it comes down to, guys. You got to have a plan. You got to have a trading plan. You got to have your risk management set in place. And with that note, I'm going to go and hit the pool. I'll talk to you guys later on.